Okay, hello everyone, this is Sente, or no scroll mute, bad design in this case, and I'll be doing some zigging because I was asked for it. You can see the current character setup. The gear is not very good and I'm currently looking for more. I have the repulsion scarf, I have clarity on the mutations, and I have some harm for more damage because it equals more survivability. Now I'm just looking to fill out. Oh yeah, and also have the Dream Shard necklace to save me in case something bad happens. And I'm looking to fill out the hat, boots, armor, and the 2 ring slots. Well, 1 ring slot with some better items. So yeah, you can here see some items that I've already collected. And I guess we can just move forward to the Ziggurat. When going for potion effects, you're looking for basically everyone in the last category, with haste and brilliance being the most important ones, followed by resistance and then by invisibility. You don't really need any other ones, and it all boils down to finding as many of those as you can. And yeah, so for the first few floors, I think it's better to just skip them, because everyone's going to be really close to you, and also most of these floors are going to be very easy. But in this case, since we were hit by the snow, going through the next few floors is dangerous because you might drop the Gozog Aura in an opportune moment, so it's better to reset, but to let the slow drop off so we can be hasted again when we go to the next floor. And yeah, we have here the art floor, which is also very easy. We have a depths floor, no, a vault floor. And this is my search that I used to see if there are any good items, and we can go to the next floor by still keeping the Gozag Aura. That will allow us to keep everything in the same place and not moving. You can see that the effect is continuing by looking at the gold at the top right, and since I see that my haste is running out, I shall refresh it. Yeah, this is a floor the only floor pretty much that you need invisibility for, but since it's a short one, we can also just manage to skip it anyways. Yeah, well, it did knock down our mana by a bit. So let's look through some potions to see if we can find a magic one for now. Yeah, I'm also not losing mana pretty much at all, due to having 27 invocations and the Staff of Bukhalmu. Still no items on the ground that will be worth picking up. Yeah, and here's another floor with mummies, and since we don't need this slow, we will reset again. Yeah, most of the floors in the Ziggurat are easy, except for a few specific ones, such as the Ghost floor, the Panlord floor, and the Silence floors. That will be torturous. Okay, yeah, more orc floors. That's good, I guess. Easy for us. But yeah, I'm just alternating ignition and earthquake most of the time, because ignition will take care of huge clumps and earthquake will take care of any stragglers that were either resistant to it or didn't die from one cast. Okay, we have haste. Yeah, this layer floor is also can be slightly annoying with the calcifying dust that the kad oblapas castachi. But I guess I noticed that I can use tornado to blow away some of that smoke, so I can go forward in it. This also works for chaos clouds when the chaos crabs put them on you, since you don't want to be petrified or paralyzed from the chaos. It also helps a lot. And yeah, I'm just going through. If I look in, my search looks for artifact auxiliary slots and artifact armor. I mean, basically scales and stuff. This floor also can be slightly annoying after the update to the demon spawns, since they can sap your magic, which leaves you unable to cast at all, and seems to repeat if you do cast, so it extends the sap's duration, so you have to just spend some turns not doing any casting at all, and this is quite annoying. Okay, full set of... Okay, we have Gehenna floor. They do manage to do some damage to me. I'm using refrigeration and earthquake in this case. Yeah, previously it would be fine to just use refrigeration, but after they added some completely some ice immune enemies, this is no longer possible, so we need to mix in. Okay, yeah, and we're at the point where enemies are no longer right next to us when we spawn in. And it's a bit safer like that, in case you don't have the Gozak aura running continuously. Well, except for the very easy floors. The floors have different weightings for monsters, so those that have weaker monsters can spawn more on you and can fill up the floor completely, but it's not dangerous anyway. Yeah, I would need to find an extremely good amulet to think about switching away from my Dream Sword necklace. Although I do have the Macabre necklace, which could let me use some good ring. Yeah, previously most of these floors could be solved by just casting ignition a lot of the time, but now more monsters have fire resistance, so mixing earthquake is a good idea. Yeah, as you can see, we have still not found even one auxiliary item or dragon armor, which is quite sad. Yeah, so this is another one of the easy floors, basically due to monsters dying in 1 or 2 casts and not being able to inconvenience us in many different ways. Let's hope I find a panlord or a ghost floor so we can see how we can deal with that. Okay, this is slightly interesting. So let's drop some of the worst items that we picked up and keep those. I'll check out everything I've found after the Ziggurat, so it doesn't waste a lot of time. I usually do that anyway. Yeah, so yeah, this is this floor. They have become a lot more dangerous. Yeah, and I would really like for the dodges to work, but they just don't. So yeah, so I can get quicksilvered quite easily. Even though I have a potion on 4th evasion, I still need more. That is one of the stats I would like to increase the most while keeping my current resistances. Of course, if you have no shield is help against Quicksilver, well, except for the Warlock's Mirror, which I could consider using if Mayhem wasn't what I'm currently trying out. I'm actually not sure if it works very well, but I'm hoping that it should help me about Panlord and Ghost Force, since it does do help against them. And yeah, here we are. Quicksilvered again. Brilliant magic to keep our mana going, and let's keep casting. Yeah, I do take some damage, but Regen does help out. Let's hope we don't get many more of those floors, because it would be quite annoying. They're still not very dangerous, because I could just easily blink away, because I couldn't get silence or anything. And still no auxiliary items to speak of. And brilliance. Okay. And this is the Panlord floor with a Panlord in the middle. I mean at the end. Well, just one Panlord is very hard for him to kill us. So this is also not a dangerous floor. Well, except for, of course, when we get sapped magic by the Warmongers. And nothing good, nothing good. And it also takes a while to gather all of the gold on the floor. Yeah, so we got a shield from one of the Warmongers. It's also not very good. Well, because it doesn't have a high enchantment. Okay. Gen 4, very easy. Absolutely no way to die. Previously you could clear it with just ignition, but now you have to do ignition and earthquake because of the rock slimes, they just don't die. Okay, here we have Swarm floor. Yeah, it might not seem like it, but it is. Still easy, no problems. Nothing that can even hurt us, because everything dies in 1 or 2 casts, and there is no other threats. And still no auxiliary items. This is a really bad on Ziggurat. I at least find 1 or 2 usually. Okay, a walls floor. Yeah, I wish I could fit in Rampage as well, but Knowing my current gear limitations doesn't look likely. A harm hat could actually be interesting. Oh, and we have finally one auxiliary item, but it's not particularly useful because, in my opinion, the repulsion scarf is the best item you can use, specifically for the Quicksilver. Dodging. Okay, here we have an Abyss floor. These can be slightly annoying due to being able to spawn the Silent Spectres, the only other place where you can find them, but it's usually one or two compared to the many ones in Tartarus where the level is completely covered. Yeah, and the interesting time about this Starker's Mass is that if there are multiple ones on the level, they can merge together into one and become extremely big and extremely high health, so they tend to be the last enemy to be killed. Okay, second to last floor. This is an Abyss floor again. So pretty much no danger. I'm still using the ignition into the Earthquake stat, and here we can see where Silent Spectre has indeed spawned, but we can just go in and use the strategy for those specters, which is to use silver javelins. You can also use silver javelins for panlords and ghosts when you're silenced. Okay. Okay, let's grab those boots. Maybe I'll be able to somehow equip them. That would be pretty nice. Still haven't even found an artifact armor with close to high enchantment, so I'm stuck using a +6 +6 Pearl Dragon scales. And nice. Final easy floor with no... That is very easy, no problems. Now let's just clear this out, grab the loot, and finish up with the Ziggurat. And I guess we can check out the loot real quick. So yeah, we have got the harm hat. Actually have a few. Yeah, the other harm is actually better than the one I picked up here. Well, maybe not, but it does give will, which I am somewhat in need of. DRF boots, and let's see if we found some actually good rings that I could replace some of mine with. They would need to be RF++ or RC++. And also I would very much like to have will on those. Currently doesn't look like anything. And yeah, this was not a good expedition. But I guess let's do another one. Okay, we're buffed up and let's continue. Well, at this point it doesn't really matter, we can even use blinks, because we have so many. Shouldn't ever run out until 27 ziggurats. Now we have a helmet finally, but it's not any good, so let's continue. It could be good to refresh our buffs. See anything? Nope. So we are continuing on to some more forms. Once again, I couldn't dodge it. Makes me pretty sad, since that could also happen in a Panlord flora while being silenced as well, which would be very bad indeed. Also, these new spider enemies, one of them that makes others turn into a simulacrum, is very not unsynergetic with Gozek due to it making them not drop any gold when they turn into a simulacrum. And yeah, there was an interesting situation with this where I took one turn too long due to not being able to see how many turns are on the aura, and that led to my Gozak aura dropping off as I entered the floor. So it's pretty much the same as if I would have waited and collected all the loot on the previous floor. No defense from Gozak. Yeah, I've noticed that some Draconians can also do a bit of damage. Probably due to their breath that I am not blocking. Or something like that. Okay, here we have something a bit more interesting. A ghost floor. So we can use ignition to start clearing everything. And this also helps us, well, the Ziggurat starts, but it's very weak. We also have the Mayhem Orb, which helps us a lot more. And so when we get them away from us, we can use Chain Lightning mainly. Previously the strategy was to use Earthquake because that did the most damage, but now I think Chain Lightning is probably better. Of course, this is a situation specifically one where harm is extremely beneficial, even if it doesn't seem like it, because if you are surrounded by all the monsters, you can have the best chance of killing the most of them in the first turn with harm, so that you can use the Ziggurat and the Mayhem Orb to thin the herd as much as possible before they are able to do anything. And then, if they don't manage to silence you instantly, you can continue pushing your advantage by killing them as fast as possible. Here we have the other bad situation, where you're surrounded by all the panelers instead of ghosts this time. So the wombo combo would be to be Quicksilvered and then silenced, and then you can, since you drop the Lich form, you can be you can be well, let's use this, specifically what it's made for. Apocalypse grabs Breves on me, but I have a Freezing Vapor instead, so that blocks it. Now I'll use Tornado, and we have dealt with them. Pretty much shouldn't be any more danger. So yeah, so I managed to not get Quicksilvered, which is pretty nice. Yeah, I would like to have a bit more mana though. Or I might have already cleared the floor. Yeah. So yeah, the two floors where you do not move forward are instantly, well, three would be the Silence, the Panlord ones. Silence because you need to clear everything, Panlord because you would like for them to come to you and not have as many on screen as possible, and some usually with the ghost forms, but it is possible to just use Tornado and Disjunction to move past the floors quickly, well, that you cannot kill instantly. I've done that a bit in ghost floors. Yeah, it's not very nice when you can't get invisibility. Okay, we have it now. Yeah, sometimes it happens that you just can get one effect that you would like. This time it's Brilliance, which I finally managed to get. Yeah, these Ziggurats are actually the most dangerous because they have the least space, so you have more floors where you are completely surrounded. Okay, here we have another floor which would be nice to get invisibility for, which we managed to get quickly this time. So Ghost Moths can't steal all of our mana. Okay, on this floor. So yeah, this floor's enemies are resistant to pretty much everything. So you need to use Tornado or Earthquake. Yeah, if I manage to upgrade my setup just a bit, I should just skip floors. That is, try to keep the Goza color going as much as possible. But currently I'm still trying to find a few more items. Here we go. Another slightly interesting floor. It was much safer previously due to Goza color working much better. Now it is slightly problematic, but it's just a bit of damage, so we can deal with it by just blinking away usually. And yeah, from these floors you can usually get some tower shield. That is good. Let's see, we do have any. Yeah, the farm tower shields look very interesting to me. Not sure if I will use them, but I guess I could keep them around. Especially with RF++ is very nice. Ooh, a hard rampage shield. Everything I've ever wanted. But Mayhem Orb is still probably better. Probably increases survivability more, because most of the extremely dangerous things cannot be blocked. And we have another boots, but they're not very good, especially with the chance to slow us. And here we have another this floor. Okay, let's pop tornado. Oh, something did some damage. But we managed to deal with it anyway. And if something absolutely terrible happened, we still have the Dream Shard necklace to save us, hopefully. I did test that if you do manage to die in one turn, it heals you in the middle of the turn, so enemies could technically continue killing you, so it wouldn't actually save your life. It is just a big heal if you manage to take a lot of damage. Doesn't give any temporary immunity or anything like that. And this emerald looked slightly interesting, even though I'm very unlikely to use it. I'll still take it out with me. And now time for the final level. There's missing haste. Okay, it's Gehenna. Castle, refrigeration, and shatter. Dealt with it successfully. Let's see, nothing found again. When this line completes, I'll be just one Ziggurat off total of 27. Did I manage to find any ring that would be worth replacing my current ones? Juggling some inventory. Need to be RC++ or RF++ with will. And looks like it's a no once again. But at least the collection is increasing. So yeah, 2 quick ziggurats. Nothing found once again. Hope you enjoyed.